collection of Michael Jordan's championship sneakers went for more than £6 million at auction.
The Air Jordan sneaker officially went on sale on April 1st, 1985.
4 decades later, they're still very much in demand.
In 1984, Nike and NBA rookie Michael Jordan formed a groundbreaking collaboration that resulted in the creation of Air Jordan. With its striking colors and daring design, the first Air Jordan shoe, created by Peter Moore, caused an NBA ban, which Nike used as effective advertising. When the Air Jordan 1 first came out in 1985, it sold out and completely changed the sneaker culture. Air Jordan became a cultural icon that influenced sports, fashion, and branding for decades thanks to later designs by Tinker Hatfield and ongoing success on and off the court. Air Jordan's inception dates back to the early 1980s, when Nike was having trouble making a name for itself in the basketball shoe industry. Michael Jordan, a budding basketball star, was gaining notoriety at the University of North Carolina and getting ready to join the NBA at the same time. Despite Jordan's early preference for Converse and Adidas, Nike recognized an opening and made a determined effort to court him. They presented the young rookie with an unheard-of offer in 1984, a 5-year contract paying $500,000 a year, plus royalties and other benefits. This was a risky decision because no rookie had ever been given such a large endorsement deal. Michael Jordan was initially reluctant to join with Nike, but in October 1984, he gave in to pressure from Nike officials and his parents. Nike soon started working on creating a special sneaker for him. The outcome was Peter Moore's design for the Air Jordan 1. The shoe's striking red and black design ran against to the NBA's uniform regulations, making it unlike anything else on the floor at the time. The NBA first warned Jordan about wearing the shoes during games, and then fined him for each time he showed up wearing the sneakers that weren't allowed. Using the premise that the NBA had banned the sneaker, Nike cleverly used this as a marketing opportunity to encourage customers to wear items that the league forbade on the court. The Air Jordan 1 became a cultural sensation once it was made available to the general public in April 1985. In its first year of sales, it brought in over $100 million, which at the time was unprecedented for a product supported by an athlete. Jordan's skill on the court, Nike's relentless marketing, and the shoe's rebellious image combined to create a perfect storm of demand and hype. What began as a well-thought-out commercial risk swiftly transformed into a cultural and clothing revolution. One of the most amazing tales in sports and fashion history is the transformation of Air Jordan from a single basketball sneaker to a worldwide cultural phenomenon. Nike's brilliant marketing methods and Michael Jordan's incredible on-court performance drove the brand's continuous growth after its spectacular 1985 launch with the Air Jordan 1. Jordan's ability to score goals, quickness, and flair rapidly made him the NBA's face. His shoes became more mysterious as his fame spread. Fans and sneakerheads alike anxiously awaited each new release, because it blended innovative shoe technology with eye-catching, fashion-forward styles. The Air Jordan line was unique. An important turning point was the 1988 introduction of Tinker Hatfield's Air Jordan 3. It debuted a mid-top shape that combined performance and style, the recognizable Jumpman emblem, and visible air cushioning. One of Jordan's most memorable events also happened to coincide with this shoe, his victory in the 1988 Slam Dunk Contest, in which he wore the AJ3S and leaped from the free throw line. Each model gained popularity after that, sometimes backed by noteworthy advertising campaigns. Jordan's success in the NBA was reflected in the Air Jordan brand during the late 1980s and early 1990s. He became a world-renowned figure by leading the Chicago Bulls to 6 titles. His trainers represented greatness, ambition, and style in addition to being functional sports footwear. Demand increased globally as well as in the United States. Air Jordans became status symbols when urban style tendencies started to impact mainstream fashion and hip-hop culture welcomed the footwear. Long before the phrase became popular, the brand started to influence streetwear, and people waited in queue for new releases. The brand's enthusiasm persisted even after Michael Jordan retired. Older models' retro releases appealed to a new generation while arousing nostalgia. Celebrities, designers, and artists collaborated with it to keep it current. By the 2000s and 2010s, Jordans had evolved from basketball shoes to fashion accessories that millions of people owned and wore. Through the introduction of exclusive lines, sponsorship of players outside of basketball, and establishment as a pillar of contemporary sneaker culture, the brand developed into a potent independent entity inside Nike. A once-in-a-generation athlete, a forward-thinking marketing team, daring design innovation, and a constantly changing cultural movement all work together to create the iconic Air Jordan brand. Air Jordan's effect goes well beyond basketball. It transformed the shoe business, transformed sports promotion, impacted international fashion, and became a pillar of young and urban culture. Air Jordans have stood for more than just performance since Michael Jordan first wore them on the court. They have been a symbol of identity, desire, and rebellion. Nike's innovative choice to build a brand around a single player established a model that all of the big sports brands have since adopted. From a business perspective, Air Jordan made shoes a multi-billion-dollar worldwide industry. Prior to the brand's popularity, sports shoes were mostly thought of as practical gear. Air Jordan reinterpreted them as lifestyle items by fusing design, prestige, and functionality. A new type of consumer culture was produced by the strategy of releasing shoes in small quantities, using narrative, and creating hype via scarcity. The cultural model created by Air Jordan is directly responsible for the current sneakerhead phenomena, which includes collectors, resale marketplaces, and international launch events. The influence has been considerably more profound on a cultural level. Owning Jordans became a potent sign of prosperity, style, and belonging among young people throughout the world and in metropolitan areas. Early on, the hip-hop world loved the sneakers. As a result, the brand was able to establish itself in streetwear, music, and movies in addition to sports. Additionally, the brand established a new benchmark for athlete branding. Michael Jordan was the product, not simply a brand ambassador. The athlete and the customer developed a personal bond as a result of the shoe's deep ties to his biography, character, and achievements. Despite inspiring generations and fostering creativity and self-expression, Jordans have also turned into a hot spot for problems like greed, exclusivity, and even violence due to their high demand. However, Michael Jordan and the Jordan brand have also made substantial philanthropic contributions, promoting social justice, education, and community projects. In summary, the history of Air Jordan is a cultural revolution that reshaped the connections between identity, fashion, commerce, and sports. It is much more than the ascent of a popular shoe. What started off as a daring Nike attempt to design a trademark sneaker for a young, talented basketball player turned into a worldwide sensation that permanently altered consumer culture and athletic branding. Beyond the basketball court, Air Jordan became a symbol of excellence, aspiration, and flair that influenced fashion, music, and young identity for years to come. The continuing belief that a product can become a lasting symbol of greatness when driven by authenticity, originality, and cultural resonance is just as significant as the billions of dollars in sales or the sneaker collectors who adore every release. The Air Jordan brand is about more than simply shoes. It's about the values those sneakers have come to stand for: self-assurance, inventiveness, and striving for more.